There comes a moment in every life where the mirror doesn't lie anymore, where the silence around you becomes louder than your distractions, where the reflection staring back doesn't ask questions, it demands answers. Not about who you are, but who you've been pretending not to be. You feel it, don't you? That uncomfortable sting of wasted time, the weight of potential gathering dust behind locked doors, the ache of knowing you could have been more by now. This is not guilt, this is not shame. This is the call, the whisper that's followed you from childhood to now, the voice that says you were meant for more than this. There is an old story about a man who lived his whole life in a small, shadowed village surrounded by towering mountains. Every day he would walk the same path, complain about the same struggles, blame the same circumstances. One day, a traveler passing through said to him, "Why don't you climb the mountains? The sun shines longer there. The view is endless." The man scoffed. "Climb the mountain? I don't have the tools. I'm too tired. It's too steep. Maybe one day." And so he never climbed, and he never saw the sun in its fully glory. He died in the shadows, not because he couldn't change, but because he chose not to. Laziness isn't just about lying on the couch. It's the quiet decision to say tomorrow every time your soul screams now. It's the art of dying slowly without anyone noticing. And excuses? Excuses are the stories we tell ourselves to avoid rewriting the real one. They're beautifully constructed lies, comforting, convenient, and cowardly. "I don't have time. I'm just not motivated. It's too late for me." No, the truth is you've had the pen in your hand this whole time. You just forgot how to write. But here's the thing. A page isn't a prison, it's a canvas. And today you get to start a new one. Yes, I know the past is there. The pages behind you are inked and stained with every missed opportunity and half-hearted effort. But they're not the end. You're not the person who wasted the last year. You're the person who learned from it. You're not the person who quit every time it got hard. You are the person who now knows what quitting costs. This is your reset. Not because it's the first time you've tried, but because this is the time you refuse to turn back. Imagine your life as a locked vault. Behind that door is your potential, your power, your peace. Laziness is the rust of the lock. Excuses are the chains you wrapped around it. But you are the key. You've just been too scared to turn it, to use it. Too used to playing small, too surrounded by voices saying it's okay to settle, but you know better now. So here's the deal. Today, not tomorrow. You don't need perfect conditions, you don't need permission, you just need to move. One step, one act of defiance against the voice that says wait. Because momentum is born in moments like this, where you decide that your old story ends here, that you're not dragging yesterday into today, that you're burning the script of excuses and writing something real, something worthy. Stand up, man, not just physically, but mentally and spiritually. Stand up to the part of you that has kept you numb and neutral. Stand up to the inner voice that whispers you're not ready. Because ready is a myth, action is real. Start now, start clumsy, start uncertain, just start. You don't need motivation, you need a moment. And this is that moment. No more laziness, no more excuses, and no more waiting for a version of yourself that only arrives if you build it. Start a new page, man, and write like your life depends on it. Because in many ways, it does. Let today be the turning point, not because the world changed, but because you did. And when they ask you years from now what happened, how did you become the person you are today, you will say, I finally got tired of waiting, I finally said enough, and I wrote a new story. One where I stopped watching the clock and started owning my time. This is your chapter, man, and I just want you to make it count. Deep down, you all feel that pull, like there is something we're meant to do, something that gives our life meaning. And I truly believe every person is born with a purpose. with a spark of goodness inside that comes with the responsibility to grow, to rise, and to become the best version of ourselves. Your dream isn't just something nice to have, it's something essential. It's necessary that you chase it, work for it, and shape yourself around it. It's not enough to just hope for it. You have to show up for it every single day, because time isn't something you can afford to waste. Every morning is another chance to put in the effort, not because someone is watching, but because it's who you are. Your character, the way you grind when no one sees. When it's raining, when you're tired, when quitting seems easier, that's what shapes your success. See, being great doesn't come from titles or applause. It's not about being called a champion. It's about acting like one when no one's around, because champions are made in those early mornings, in lonely hours of practice, in moments of sacrifice when others are sleeping. It's not a switch you flip on when it's convenient. It stays on all the time. It becomes your standards, and if your name is on something, then give it your best every single time. The problem is, many people expect support for their dreams. But your dream is yours. No one owes you anything. If you want it, you have to rise and grind for it. You've got to be willing to fight for it, to stay up late and wake up early, to give up comfort and rest if your dream consumes your thoughts. If life feels empty without it, then you've got to pour everything you've got into it. Push through fear, doubt, pain. Keep going with everything you've got. Your heart, your faith, your determination. And when nothing seems to go right, when life throws its worst at you, you don't let it break you. You stand up stronger. Because, life changes. It's full of highs and lows. Sometimes it lifts you up, sometimes it knocks you flat. And no matter how skilled or dedicated you are, there will be times when things just fall apart. But those moments, those hard, painful, confusing times are where growth begins. Anyone can feel good when things are going well. It's easy to be hopeful when everything is smooth. But real strength shows when everything goes wrong and you still choose to rise. Maybe you haven't found success yet because you think every open door is meant for you, but not every opportunity is yours, and not every path will lead you forward. All of us will face tragedy at some point. Some of us already have, and when it comes, you have a choice. Let it crush you or let it shape you. Use it, grow from it, be bigger than the pain. The road to change isn't everything. The road to change isn't easy. If it were, everyone would take it, but if you are serious, like really serious, you will give it everything. We all fall, that's life. But the real question is, who gets back up? That's where the difference is made. If you want to rise to greatness, you've got to be willing to go against the crowd, to push when everything tells you to stop. You have to take control, you have to decide, I'm not giving in, I'm not letting this defeat me. Your success doesn't come from your situation, it comes from your mindset. The battle isn't in your bank account or your job title. It's in your head. Your mind is the first battlefield. That's where fear lives, where doubt grows. That's where the enemy works to break you down. But if you win the battle in your mind, then you can win anywhere else. In your work, your relationships, your life. So fight for your thoughts, take back your strength, and when you do, you will come back, not just standing, but stronger and better than ever. Because you made the choice to stand for something, and that's where the real power begins. Choosing peace of mind, chasing your dreams, and fighting for your health isn't just about ambition. It's a decision to fully commit to becoming who you're meant to be. If you want something badly enough, then it's not just about wanting anymore. It's about doing. It's about letting go of what's behind you. The pain, the setbacks, the disappointments, and focusing every ounce of your energy on moving forward. People might hurt you. Life might hit you hard. But the only question that matters is, what will you do about it? You have to rise above it, not just for survival, but for growth. Because, growth only happens when you choose to keep going. Not when things are easy, but when they're not. You can't measure how far you have to go or how hard it's going to be. If you start keeping score, counting the hours, the sacrifices, the failures, you might stop. You might turn around, and that's why you don't count. You lift as many weights, you push through as many days, and you study as long as needed. Not because it's easy, but because it matters. The moment you begin to measure the cost is the moment you start giving power to doubt. So don't ask how long it's going to take or how hard it's going to be. Just tell yourself whatever it takes, I'm in. Stay focused, stick to the plan. Keep doing the things that have been working for you. Even when it feels slow or pointless, evaluate your situation honestly, adapt if you must, but never retreat. Once you make that choice to go all in, to keep moving without the option of quitting, that's the moment everything changes. It's not the world you need to convince, it's you. It's the person in the mirror that has to believe. The day you declare, I'm done holding back, I will give everything I've got, is the day the path begins to open. So what I want you to do is to stop living in your past. Don't be defined by what happened or who let you down, and make the rest of your life count. Let today be the line you draw where everything changes. Not because life got easier, but because you've got stronger. Because you chose to live with purpose, and that purpose is what will carry you through. Imagine a battlefield where the only enemy standing in your way is the reflection of your own past failures. Picture this: every scar, every mistake etched onto your memory is not a mark of defeat, but a battle wound, a reminder that you fought hard, survived, and now have the power to rise even stronger. Today, I ask you, are you ready to cast off the chains of yesterday and seize the limitless promise of your future? Step forward, warrior, and let the battle begin. In the darkest hours of night, when silence engulfs the mind, there is an internal war that wages tirelessly within us. It's a war between strength and weakness, between the echoes of regret and the pulse of potential. This struggle isn't fought on distant battlefields, it's fought within the very core of your being. Each moment you hesitate, each thought that clings to past failures is a soldier on the side of defeat. And yet within you lies a fortress built of resilience, a citadel that can overcome any storm of adversity. When we examine our journey, we find that failures is not an enemy, it's a harsh mentor. It teaches us discipline, resilience, and transformation. Every setback is an opportunity to recalibrate, rebuild, and reimagine the self that we aspire to become. Understand that your past does not define you. It simply sets the stage of the grand comeback that is your present and your future. Just as a phoenix rises from the ashes, so too can you harness the embers of your former shortcomings and set your life ablaze with a newfound purpose. For a moment, consider your mind as a combat arena, where every thought is a fighter and every decision an act of war. The strength you need is forged in the heat of relentless challenges. Discipline becomes the armor that shields you from the arrows of self-doubt, while resilience is the sword that carves a path to victory. Every morning is a call to arms, a chance to fight against the inertia of regret, to conquer the shadows of your past with the brilliant light of determination. Visualize for a moment the valley of despair where your past failures reside. It's shrouded in fog and doubt, a place where echoes of I can't reverberate endlessly. But, beyond this valley, there lies a mountain of hope, a summit waiting to be reached by those who dare to climb. The ascent may be steep, the path rugged and uncertain, yet with every step forward, you leave behind the weight of your past, shedding layers of fear and inertia. Think of your journey as a relentless river carving its way through stone, impervious to the obstacles in its course. The river does not cry for the rocks it has eroded. It flows persistently and powerfully, shaping the very landscape of its destiny. Like this mighty river, you must let your inner strength surmount the barriers of regret. Each obstacle is not a dead end, but a stepping stone, an opportunity to harness your inner power and redirect your energy towards sculpting a glorious future. Imagine your mind as a canvas on which you continuously paint the story of your life. Every brush stroke, regardless of whatever it was once, marred by error or hesitation, contributes to a masterpiece in progress. The colors of your past, the deep blues of sorrow, the fiery reds of regret, even the muted grays of uncertainty, do not diminish the brilliance of the final picture. Instead, they enhance the texture, adding depth and contrast to the emerging portrait of a resilient soul. Now, let's break this inner struggle into three key elements: inner conflicts, disciplined action, and transformative resilience. You know, your internal war is not a straightforward fight. It is a complex interplay between the voices of defeat and the call of ambition. These voices compete for dominance, each claiming the truth of who you are. But here's the secret. Neither voice is definitive. The one that wins is the one you nurture with passion and unyielding determination. Stand up and confront that voice of doubt. Look it in the eye and declare, your time is over. I am now the author of my destiny. This confrontation is the first step towards reclaiming your power, because discipline is the backbone of transformation. It's the force that propels you to rise every morning, even when sleep tugs at your eyelids. It demands you to pursue excellence relentlessly, even in moments when motivation wanes. Think of discipline as the regimen of a master warrior who trains day in and day out, not for accolades but for the sheer joy of mastery itself. What I want you is to set clear daily rituals, a moment of introspection, a burst of physical energy, a focused session of learning, or a skill refinement. And these actions, though small in isolation, accumulate into an unstoppable avalanche of success. You know, as I said, resilience is the phoenix within you, the spirit that refuses to burn out, even in the midst of failure. It's about embracing every fall as a lesson, a pivot towards something greater. You know, visualize resilience as a sculpture chipping away at a block of marble. Every strike, every moment of resistance against the hard stone reveals the masterpiece hidden within. And exactly like this, your past failures are no different. Use them as the chisel to carve out a future that is as bold as it is beautiful, defined not by what has been lost, but by the infinite possibilities ahead. And now, take a moment to engage with your inner warrior. I challenge you to a daily mental exercise, a ritual of reclaiming your power from the past. Every day when you awaken, stand before a mirror and say, I am not my past, I am the force of my future. And let these words echo within you, reverberating through every decision you make. When doubts creep in during the day, pause for a moment, draw a deep breath, and reaffirm your commitment to growth. Transform your thoughts into allies rather than adversaries. And from now on, I need you to create a journal, a chronicle of your battles and triumphs. Document each moment of struggle alongside your victories, no matter how small, and reflect on the lessons learned from every perceived failure and let them be the blueprint for future success. Embrace the mindset of a scientist in a laboratory. Each experiment is a test of your limits. Each error a hypothesis refined into a strategy for success. and moreover, build an environment that fuels this transformation. Surround yourself with images, quotes, and music that inspire strength. Let your physical space be a sanctuary of motivation, a place where every corner whispers encouragement, and every object is a reminder of the warrior you are. Challenge yourself to step out of your comfort zone regularly, whether it's starting a new project, learning a difficult skill, or engaging in physical exercise. Let these challenges fortify your spirit and sharpen your resolve. And as you progress on this journey, you will discover that your past failures were never meant to shackle you, but to prepare you for a future that is boundless and magnificent. You know, the scars of yesterday are not marks of defeat, but badges of honor that testify to your bravery in the face of adversity. They are the very evidence of your willingness to fight, to fall, and to rise again. And in the final analysis, the battle within is a lifelong pursuit, a daily reaffirmation that your destiny is not dictated by what has already happened, but by what you choose to do in each present moment. With every sunrise, you have the power to rewrite your narrative. Let discipline be your constant companion, resilience your unwavering shield, and transformation the unstoppable force that carries you forward. I urge you to remember this truth. As you step out in the light each day, the greatest victory is not about vanquishing external foes, but overcoming the internal battles that threaten to hold you back. Embrace the conflict, celebrate every small win, and persist with the knowledge that every effort, no matter how arduous, brings you closer to the hero you were always meant to be. And today, decide that you will no longer let the failures of your past cast shadows over the brilliance of your future, and instead let them ignite a fierce determination within you. A relentless drive to transform every moment of potential into the triumph of a lifetime. Stand tall, fight hard, and live boldly. This is your moment, this is your war, and you, as a warrior, are destined not only to survive, but to conquer with the indomitable spirit of greatness. Go forth and become the masterpiece that your past has sculptured within you. Embrace the battle, embrace your journey, and embrace your future. And you know, when you have a dream and you begin chasing it, don't expect everyone to understand, because most people will not see what you see. They'll laugh, mock you, and call you crazy sometimes. Even you might wonder if they're right, because doubt will creep in, and that's part of the path, because life isn't easy or fair, and it never will be. Don't waste your energy trying to make it so, and don't fall into the trap of thinking the world owes you something, because it does not. You're not a victim. Accept it, rise above it, and keep moving forward. You know, every person who has achieved greatness was once misunderstood, doubted, and even ridiculed. So stop sharing your vision with people who cannot see it. There is a reason you keep picturing yourself succeeding, opening that business, walking across that graduation stage, buying your dream house, or driving the car you've always wanted. Those images aren't random. They're signs the universe is whispering to you, showing you what's possible if you stay on course. And now, as we draw this motivational journey to a close, I want you to take a deep breath and let the power of these words resound within you. The fight is real, the stakes are high, but the victory is yours to seize. Every step you take is a strike against the past that no longer serves you, a step towards a future teeming with promise and possibility. Let this be the moment when you decide that your failures are merely stepping stones, not stumbling blocks, that they propel you to reach heights you never imagined possible. And now rise up with unwavering determination, Embrace your inner warrior, let your actions speak louder than your past, and march forward with the conviction that your best days are yet to come. No longer with the shadows of yesterday dim the radiant light of your future. Cause today you choose to fight and today you choose to win. And I want you to remember that the battlefield is yours and your destiny awaits, so embrace it, conquer it, and become unstoppable. I want to start my speech by saying that life is like a game, but you're the only player. It all happens in your mind. What you believe in your head changes how you can see the world around you. If you think good things, you will see good things. If you think bad things, the world will seem bad. The world is like a mirror showing you what you already feel inside. It doesn't judge you. A tree doesn't think about good or bad. It just exists. You can choose to stay the same, and that's okay if it makes you happy. But some people want to be better, to do more. They have dreams, but fear stops them. They worry what others might say, that people will laugh if they try and fail. But there is the truth. People talk no matter what you do. They will talk if you try and fail, and they will talk if you do nothing at all. So ask yourself, would you rather try and maybe fail, or do nothing and always wonder what if? We build stories about ourselves based on what we hear from others, especially when we are young. We hear things like you're clumsy or you're smart, and we start to believe those things are true. We build our whole identity around these stories, even if they're not true. Then we go through life looking for proof that these stories are right. And guess what? We always find it. We see the world through the lens of these stories. Even if they're holding us back, don't put others on a pedestal, because then you're below them. Remember, no one is better or worse than you. There is only the best version of you and the worst version of you. You're competing against yourself, trying to be better every day. To achieve your dreams, you can't just want it little. You have to be obsessed with it. It should be the first thing you think about in the morning and the last thing at night. Champions, those who achieve great things, don't get there by accident. They have a plan, a clear path to reach their goals. They know that becoming a champion means failing along the way, making mistakes and learning from them. What we see on TV, the victory is just the end of a long and difficult journey. Life can be tough, man. Sometimes it feels like you're getting hit in the head, but don't give up on what you believe in. Find something that you love to do, something that makes you excited to wake up each morning. Your work will be a big part of your life, so it should be something you enjoy. If you haven't found it yet, keep searching. Don't settle for something that doesn't make you happy. Your dreams are important, put them first. Even before yourself, imagine them like a prize on top of a tall shelf. You have to climb to reach it, and once you get it, don't stop there. Find a higher shelf, a bigger goal. Every step you take, every goal you achieve makes you stronger. You will face new challenges, but you've overcome every challenge in your past. You're still here, aren't you? So you can overcome this one too. Welcome challenges, because they make you stronger like a storm. They will pass and you will still be standing. You were born for a reason. Your life has meaning. Remember that when things get tough, when you face criticism or setbacks, you have to be your own biggest cheerleader. Especially when no one else is clapping, it might be lonely at times, but that's okay. It means you're on the right path, a path that most are too afraid to take. If everyone is cheering you on, It means you're doing what everyone else is doing, and that's not you. You're meant for more, man. Dwelling on your mistakes will not get you anywhere. It will not bring you closer to your goals. You can choose to feel sorry for yourself, or you can choose to take action. It's okay to be angry when things don't get your way, but use that anger as fuel to work harder. While others are complaining, you will be out there making progress. Remember, man, that life is hard. Yes, it is. There is no denying that. Anything worth achieving will be a challenge. There are no shortcuts, no easy paths. Stop looking for them. They don't exist. The only way to reach your full potential is to stop comparing yourself to others and focus on your own goals, your own journey. Look in the mirror and see the person you want to become. Encourage yourself, celebrate your progress, and then take that next step. You can always achieve more, become more than you are today. Is that really the challenge, you ask? Of course it is. It's like flipping a coin, one side showing heads, the other tails. Because unless you change who you are deep down, you'll always be stuck with what you have. There are folks out there who want to keep you trapped in the past, always reminding you of your mistakes, the relationships that didn't work out, the times you fell off your bike, the goals you couldn't reach, the dreams that slipped away. It's time to stop letting them set the pace of your life. Instead of worrying, stressing, or maybe scared of failing, or even dwelling on the fact that you have passed, remember this: you've already moved beyond your past. You've lived days, weeks, maybe even years since those things happened. So why not make the day you have now really count? Start living today, right now. You'll regret no talking the tough past sooner, believe me. I know you have big dreams, big things you want to achieve, and that's amazing. But all those tasks you're avoiding, all that hard work you're pushing aside, those are the very things stopping you from reaching your goals. What you don't seem to realize is that by dodging the work, you're also dodging the results. If you want to build something great in your life, it's going to take effort, real effort. It's going to take serious dedication and discipline to keep moving forward. And when people whisper in your ear telling you to take it easy, that you're working too hard, that you need to relax and go with the flow, remember this: if you listen to them, you will end up just like them. Every single day, the same question echoed in my mind. Do you want to be lying on your deathbed knowing you could have done it, but you didn't? So why do you care what people think when they're not even trying to reach the same destination as you? What will happen when you reach the end of your life, or when this journey is over? You will be left with the biggest regret imaginable, a poison in your soul, and the poison is regret. That I wish I had done more, I wish I had been more present kind of regret. You will never find peace living with that, so listen closely. When it comes to success, make sure it touches every part of your life. I may not understand everything right now, but one day I will. That's what faith is all about. I may all become clear. It's not my job to figure everything out right this second. My job is to keep talking the next step, to focus on the present moment, on what's right in front of me. It doesn't matter what mistakes you've made. It's about the choices you make right now. I'm going to win. I can feel it. I'm going to chase after every single dream I've ever had, everything I've ever wanted to do, and I will not let anyone tell me when I can achieve it. What I'm looking for is how I'm going to win, when I'm going to find that second wind, that burst of energy to keep pushing forward. What you need most is a reminder that you already have everything you need. Starting your journey costs nothing, and the road ahead is filled with potential. Sure, the real world has obstacles, and they are tangible, but those obstacles get solved when you face them directly. You're not going to be perfectly prepared, and that's okay. You're not meant to be. What matters is that you're willing to learn, willing to adapt as you go. Moving forward without all the answers is the only way to progress. It's like John Maxwell's analogy of driving at night. You cannot see the whole road home, but your headlights reveal just enough to get you out of the parking lot, onto the road, and eventually home. Too many people hesitate to turn the key and start the car because they cannot see 4 miles ahead. They don't begin because they just don't have everything figured out. Life isn't about waiting for answers to magically appear. It's about moving forward without them, gathering what you need along the way. Forget the things that you've tried and failed at. Don't dwell on missed expectations. Ask yourself, what have you yet to try? What is that your heart longs for, even if it feels impossible or foolish? If you're worried about what people will think or say about your decisions, great. That fear means you're on the right track. A meaningful life challenges the comfort of the ordinary, forcing you to step out of who you used to be and into who you're meant to become. You do not need permission for anyone else. The life pulsing through your veins is all the validation you need. Yeah, obstacles will always be there, but the true enemy is letting them keep you from your destiny. It's time to stop procrastinating, to crush the weight of regret before it ever gets the chance to grow. Right now, you have everything you need to make that first step. When the ground beneath you shakes, it's natural to seek stability. When the rain pours down, we run for shelter. It's instinct. But what if that instinct isn't always right? What if the shaking breaks down old limitations and the rain washes away yesterday's constraints? What if those flashes of possibility don't require mastery yet, but instead of willingness to embrace the unknown, to be the fool, as Jordan Peterson said? If you aren't willing to be a fool, you will never become a master. Growth and self-discovery demand that you step into spaces you don't understand, with the skills you don't yet have. You have to trust that you will gain what you need along the way. It's tough to step into the unknown, knowing others are more knowledgeable and experienced than you. But that willingness to start from the bottom, to be a beginner, is your greatest asset. Everyone wants success, but few are willing to go through the messy, uncertain process of building it. Many give up when they can't leap ahead, when they realize that they have to wander through the unknown for a while. But you have to fight for it, to earn that sense of belonging and competence. I know this struggle well. I remember being on a podcast where the host asked, "Why should I listen to you? Who are you to guide others?" At the time, I had little experience in the field I was navigating, but that's the journey. As Peterson says, at some point you will feel like an imposter. And you should, because that's part of the process. You will feel worse if you don't act, if you don't push through that imposter syndrome. Because while feeling out of place is uncomfortable, it's the start of something bigger. I like to compare it to jumping into a cold pool. It feels uncomfortable at first, almost like you don't belong there, but soon things start to normalize and it becomes comfortable. Now what's the alternative? Avoid that brief moment of discomfort and never jump in? That's what we need to remind ourselves. When we face a challenge that seems overwhelming, the climb might seem steep, but of course it's manageable. You will adapt. The real obstacle is pushing past that fear of starting over, taking your limited understanding, standing at the base of the mountain and looking up with confidence. The question is, can you be bold enough, even foolish enough, to take that first step? And after you've made that peak your new baseline, will you have the courage to do it again and again? Breaking through fear each time, knowing that stumbling along the way will not destroy you. In fact, it's a necessary part of growth. It's not the mistakes or the failures that weight you down over time. It's the unwillingness to show vulnerability, to acknowledge weakness. If you truly want more from life, immerse yourself in this cycle of mastery. Start at the bottom and work your way up. And once you reach the top, separate yourself and find another summit to conquer. Replant your seed, take on the role of the beginner again, and keep growing. This is the formula for progress, prosperity, and fulfillment. It's the path to building anything of substance. You have to embrace your losses, take criticism, swallow your pride, and move forward toward a future that surpasses today as you evolve. So will your surroundings and the people in your life will change as well. You will start to realize that the world around you is shaped by those who are willing to fail. Often and openly, our world is built by people humble enough to crawl before they could walk, long before they could run. What if the detours in life weren't detours at all? What if they were the way forward? All the time spent worrying and analyzing might be just our inability to see the perfection in the present moment, the greatness that we stumble upon without even realizing it. Sometimes we fall into the trap of thinking life should be straightforward and linear, and while simplicity can be helpful for clarity, focus, and repetition, life itself is rarely that black and white. So what do we make of all the twists, turns, and surprises? The truth is, our greatest lessons often come from the most unexpected places. The most memorable moments are the ones that catch us off guard. John Lennon said it best: life is what happens while you're busy making other plans. I've spent years chasing a metaphorical mountaintop, pouring everything into a meticulous plan, only to learn that the true value often comes from places I didn't expect. If I had blinked or looked away for even a moment, I might have missed it. The most important things in life often disguise themselves as setbacks, problems, and detours. So why am I telling you all this? Because if you're like me, you might have the habit of beating yourself up over the times you fell short or missed the mark. If you think that straying from your original path is somehow a failure, I'm here to remind you that every single experience, whether planned or unplanned, comes together to shape who you are. The more time that passes, the more I realize that these moments aren't just part of the story. They're crucial to it. They are the character development. And at some point things will change. People will come and go, relationships may fall apart, and events that seem permanent will turn out to be temporary. Your mind will try to convince you that these were losses, that your time was wasted. But what it will not show you is how much you learned along the way, how these moments gave birth to the next phase of your journey, which opened the door to something else. Everything you are today is a result of the path you've taken. So I ask, were those detours, or were you exactly where you needed to be? You have set limits for yourself on how much growth you allow, how much happiness you expect, how much time you give yourself to do what you love, and even what you think is reasonable to earn. You've created a certain image of yourself when you look in the mirror. My goal isn't to label these beliefs as good or bad. It's simply to remind you that they're all just stories. Where you are right now isn't carved in stone. It's written in erasable marker on a whiteboard. And the beauty of that is you can wipe it clean and rewrite it at any time. Think about that. No matter where you are, good, bad, or somewhere in between, you can always start over. You can always choose a new path. Rewrite your relationships, your career, your goals, anything, man. Anything. Much like the elephant tied to a small chair by a thin rope, you might believe it's the world holding you back, but in reality, it's your own perception, your belief in the role you think you're supposed to play in life. That morning, as I drove away, I wasn't just leaving a place, I was leaving behind a mental boundary, turning my back on an idea of who I was supposed to be and what life would allow. It didn't happen all at once, but the journey had begun. Slowly I started to pull back the curtains on all the opportunities I had passed by without even noticing. The first step toward getting more is realizing you've been accepting less. That's when new roads open up, and it's on those new roads that I want to see you walk. You have to understand that life will give so much to those who have the courage to ask. So as you stand here now, take a moment to ask yourself, what have you been asking of life? My guess is that maybe it hasn't been enough. Maybe there is more out there waiting for you. Maybe a new chapter is about to begin, and this moment is when you turn the first page. Joseph Campbell once said, "The cave you fear holds the treasure you seek." Facing your fears doesn't just mean confronting the shadows, it means gaining power over them. It shows your mind that reality isn't really as terrifying as you once thought. No walk or luck or chain can hold you back more than the mental barriers you build yourself. The very guard you think is keeping the door closed could be the one who unlocks it. So what better time than now to step forward, turn that key, and enter the space that once seemed like a vast, empty void. Jump into the unknown, even if it feels like jumping into cold water. Shocking at first, creating discomfort, but ultimately giving you the chance to adapt and thrive in a new world. You do not need to conquer a mountain right away. Sometimes all it takes is one small step to start building confidence. Little by little, you earn self-trust and belief in your own abilities. So drive away from the constraints of yesterday toward the understanding that there is always another level, another possibility. Nothing is truly out of reach. The limits you see are the ones you've drawn yourself. No one else gets to tell you who you are or what you're capable of. The world doesn't dictate the rules, it simply reacts to who you decide to be. Understand that the potential victories in life are far greater than the possible defeats. Who you were yesterday has no bearing on who you can be tomorrow, because every chapter eventually ends and you get to decide when that happens. Everything else is just a part of your past, something you leave in the rearview mirror. Success is knowing this. Holding on when others would let go is understanding that progress comes in increments, not miracles. All you need is the courage to begin. Push that ball down to hill, and momentum will build. Do not waste any more time overthinking or procrastinating, just go. You will be amazed at how quickly life changes when you give yourself the freedom to move forward. So will you open your mind to this opportunity? I've said it before and I say it again. Nothing in life is guaranteed, but you are sure to lose if you don't try. Don't let false narratives tell you who you are or what you're capable of. Take control and create your own reality, step by step, day by day. You were meant for more, and that more starts now. I want you to relax. Yeah, you're here. That's what the little sign said, hanging by the sidewalk where Pompano Beach meets. By the sidewalk, it's right in the middle of one of my favorite running routes. But first, you must be aware that around you are the pieces needed to build something never seen before. Vehicles to take you to far off places. Those ones just dreams or illusions. I've always believed that if something holds meaning for you, it's worth pursuing. Even if it doesn't turn out to be what you imagined, it still serves a purpose. It propels you forward to the next idea, the next opportunity, and the next chapter in your journey. So make the decision. Choose to make today amazing. Let the obstacles lift you higher, and let momentum carry you toward something that truly matters. When others stop and doubt themselves, dig deep and find that small victory buried beneath everything, the little key that opens the door. Sometimes life is just about that, picking your head up when it's hardest and finding the courage to walk through the door. The magic is known, there is always another door and another key, but you have to be willing to seek them out. There is the thing about these doors, the right ones will open, but only if you find the strength to approach them. They require that you seek out something amazing. So what does the next chapter look like for you? Are you enduring one of life's winter, navigating those inevitable valleys of despair, where the value lies in finding a single ray of light amidst the storm? Or maybe you're searching for that spark, the one that will reignite your fire. It's there, waiting for you. But it's up to you to choose to make today amazing. Perhaps you've already climbed out of the darkness and are now seeking what's next, the next evolution, following your heart and continuing life's beautiful progression. Let the external world support your vision. Choose to see the details not as trivial but as tools that will help you build. It's all there, just waiting for you to use it. I once saw a framed picture of a table that said, "Make today amazing." It was a reminder that so much of life is a choice. In a world full of options, what a gift it is to choose the journey of a lifetime. What an incredible ride awaits you if you decide to step into it. I remember one morning looking out the window, feeling both excitement and anxiety. My heart racing. I was worried about what others would think, about what I might lose, and about what life had in store for me. I had trained myself to focus on one thing, worrying, and when worry is your primary focus, you see life through a lens of scarcity. You play defense, guarding the little you have, rather than offense, which brings new possibilities into your world. That morning was cold, wet, and gray. I felt numb, but deep within me, completely unnoticed at the time, a spark of courage just beginning to grow. If someone had asked me then, "Can you be scared and courageous at the same time?" I would have said no. I would have said they're opposite, like mine, like night and day, fire and water. But over time I've learned that there is no courage without fear. Fire, no matter how bright or powerful, always casts shadows. And if you want that fire, you must learn to dance with the shadows. You must go where your instincts tell you not to. That morning I chose to dance with my demons. What if the one thing holding you back in life was you? Yes, the world is complex, unpredictable, and often unfair, but humans are remarkable storytellers. We live by the ideas and stories we create. Whether you realize it or not, right now, you're living by a set of rules you've created for yourself. You've defined your own boundaries and accepted them as reality. But what if those boundaries were just stories waiting to be written, waiting to be rewritten?